Welcome to The Explainer. You ever see those network businesses that just seem to explode out of nowhere? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the actual playbook. We're using a training session from a DXN distributor as our guide to break down their entire system for recruitment. I mean, from the very first thought to the final handshake.
Okay, so let's dive right in. The whole system, and I mean everything we're about to talk about, is built on this one simple idea. It's the non-negotiable, the absolute foundation for making it in this model. Everything, and I mean everything, comes back to this one rule. No invite, no growth. So, to really get how this machine works, we're going to walk through their 5-step roadmap. First, the core idea. Then, the motivations behind it. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, the prospect blueprint, how they tailor the pitch, and finally, the all-important follow-up. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the engine of this whole business, the core premise. We've got to understand what inviting actually means in this world, because it's not just a friendly suggestion. Nope. It's framed as the one single action that powers the entire thing. So the invite, it's way more than just a casual, hey, you should check this out. The source material frames it as a formal act. You're bringing someone into an opportunity. Think of it less like a party invitation and more like, well, the main gear in the machine for getting new customers and, this is the big one, new business partners. Okay, so why is this so important? I mean, why this constant, relentless focus on inviting people? Well, the training material actually lays out 5 very specific reasons, and these are all designed to motivate distributors to just keep bringing new people in and day out.
And this is where it gets really interesting. It's not just about the money. Not at all. This playbook is brilliant because it mixes financial goals with these really powerful emotional triggers. You've got building passive income for life support, sure, but then you have gaining respect from helping others win, developing a personality that makes people want to follow you, helping others by giving them a shot, and finally, building a strong network of relationships. It's the whole package.
All right, so we've got the why. Now the playbook shifts to the who. See, before you can invite anyone, you have to build your list. And this is where the strategy stops being about motivation and gets super methodical.
And it starts with a hard number, 100. You need to create a written list of at least 100 names. And the written part is a huge deal. It's about taking these people out of your memory, where they're just an idea, and turning them into a real, tangible asset you can actually work with.
So where do you find 100 people? The answer is pretty much everywhere. We're talking family, relatives, old school friends, people you work with, all your contacts on Facebook and Instagram, everyone. And the key instruction here is don't judge, don't filter, not yet. Just get the names down. That part comes later. Right now, it's all about quantity. And look at this. This just shows you how organized the approach is. It's not just a messy list of names. No, it's a structured database. You've got their name, where they are, and how to reach them. You're literally turning your social circle into a systematic tool for recruitment. Okay, the list is built. Now the playbook shifts gears into actually recruiting people. And this isn't about some generic, one-size-fits-all script you read to everyone. Not at all. It's about carefully picking your targets from that big list and then customizing your pitch to fit their specific situation, their problems, their dreams. But wait, before you even start pitching, you have to filter that list. The system is pretty clear here. You're looking for ideal prospects. People over 18 who you have a real relationship with, people who are respected and have good character. On the flip side, it says to actively avoid certain types, people with drug problems, political extremists, or just known troublemakers. It's all about minimizing risk for the business. Now we get to the execution. The playbook lays out these super specific pitches, right? And each one is custom built for a different type of person by zeroing in on their main problem. So for someone with a regular job, the pitch is all about solving that classic trap. You've got no time or you've got no money, but never both. Then you've got students. For them, the angle changes. Now it's a flexible way to build a career that won't mess with their studies. And you start to see the pattern, right? Identify the group, figure out their biggest headache, and then pitch this business as the perfect aspirin. And it just keeps going. For housewives, the pitch is framed as a way to get financially empowered right from home. It taps directly into that desire to contribute to the family's bottom line. You can see how every single pitch is a targeted missile. And what's interesting is it doesn't just stop with the obvious folks. They even have a pitch for established business owners.
But for them, it's not about, hey, start a business. It's about, hey, you want real freedom? It's about creating passive income so they can finally escape that trap of being owned by their own company. For foreign workers, it's a totally different angle again. It's all about long-term security. The opportunity is framed as a path to building real, lasting wealth for their family, something that won't disappear when their work contract ends. But the approach is also flexible. Check this out. For people who are really into health and wellness, the whole strategy flips. You lead with the products first, not the business. The idea is to help them with their health issues, create a happy customer, and then that satisfied customer becomes your most passionate business partner. Pretty smart. And this next one, this might just be the cleverest psychological trick in the whole playbook. For respected seniors or elders in the community, you don't pitch them at all. Instead, you go to them and ask for their advice on your business. It's a genius move that plays right into their desire to be seen as wise and influential, and it gets them to listen. Okay, so you've done your homework, you've tailored the pitch, and you've delivered it. Now what? Well, this is the final phase, the follow-up endgame. This is all about closing the loop, turning that initial spark of interest into a real commitment, and keeping that momentum going. And again, it's super structured. You don't just ask a vague question like, so, what do you think? No, the system gives you 3 specific questions to ask. First, what 3 things did you like most? Then, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it? And finally, do you see an opportunity for yourself here? See how that's designed to steer the conversation toward a yes? Another huge piece of this final step is urgency. The playbook is dead serious about this. You have a 24-hour window to follow up. The logic is simple, right? After a day, the excitement, that emotional high from the presentation, it starts to fade. And if you wait too long, getting that commitment is going to be a whole lot harder. And that brings us right back to the beginning. The final message here is that inviting people isn't just something you do once in a while. It's not a phase, it's a skill. And like any skill, the more you do it, the better you get. You just have to keep at it over and over until you reach the very top. So at the end of the day, what does this systematic playbook really tell us about influence in these kinds of businesses? Well, it shows us a world where nothing is left to chance, a world where social networks become databases, psychological triggers are pinpointed, and just never giving up is the name of the game. It's a fascinating look at a machine that is built for one thing: growth. And that's all for this edition of The Explainer.